Hello you guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's reading vlog, we are only going to be reading romance books for a week. So I have like 45 books on my physical TBR, but I only have 8 romance books to choose from. So let's quickly go through them just so we have like our options for this week. Okay, we have our stack of romance books. Okay, so starting off strong, we have Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. So the reason why I really want to read this book is because mainly for like the mental health representation, because I've heard that this book has really great mental health representation, and I rarely see that in books. I feel like especially romances, it's like a hard thing to find in books. And Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez is one of my 6-star reads, and I've heard such great things about this book, so this is high on the list of possibilities. And then we have The Flat Share by Beth O'Leary, and honestly I haven't heard anyone speak about this book, but I am just so obsessed with this cover. And I know that we're following our 2 main characters who are roommates, but they've never met, but they start sending letters to each other, I'm pretty sure. I'm really intrigued by this book, honestly, and I feel like the letters aspect is really great for like a Valentine's Day sort of read, because I don't know, it's giving like love letters, and love letters just give Valentine's Day. And next we have Bride, and honestly I don't know if this is like a Valentine's read or if it's more like fall time read. I always really crave reading this book during the fall time, so this may be a book that we save, but it is one of our romance options in case I'm in the mood for this. I don't know. And next we have Meet Me at the Lake by Carly Fortune. So I honestly really enjoyed Every Summer After until we got to the big reveal of it, and I think that honestly ruined the book for me. But I really enjoy her writing, and I think that this is going to be like a good option because also look how pink this cover is, and I love the way that she can write settings. Like the summer setting is so good in her books, but I don't know if I'm there yet. I don't know if I'm there needing that summer setting yet, so this may be a good option if I'm in the mood for that. And then we have Call It What You Want, and honestly this book I'm really itching towards because Call It What You Want is my favorite Taylor Swift song, and that's why I bought this book, and I believe it's a second chance. I could be wrong about that, I don't know, but I don't know much about this besides the fact that it has the same title as my favorite Taylor Swift song, and that's honestly why I really want to read it. And I think it's pretty short, it's like under 300 pages, so this might be a good choice since we're only gonna be reading for a week. This might be a good option. And then we have Nothing Like the Movies, which is the sequel to Better Than the Movies, which is a 5-star read for me, and I have been putting this book off for a very long time. I think I actually bought this in September, and it's been collecting dust on my physical TBR. And this book, it follows after Better Than the Movies, but I think like years after. Like I think they're in college now, and I really loved the couple in Better Than the Movies, and I love Lynn Painter's writing. I've read like several of her books now, and this is a good option, but it is pretty thick. Yeah, it's over 400 pages. Like that's a long book for romance, so we'll see, but I do kind of want to read this. And then we have 2 books that aren't necessarily rom-coms like the other books are. These kind of hold like an emotional depth along with being a romance. So first we have my February book of the month book, which is A Good Animal by Sarah Maurer. I'm sorry, I know I did not say that right, but I picked this book because it is essentially following this couple. He loves where they live and he wants to stay and raise and build up his family's sheep farm, I think it is, but Mary wants to leave. She has like big dreams and everything, and she just got to the town, I think, but she has a lot of hopes and dreams outside of the town. But they're together and they want to make their relationship work, but they both obviously want different things. And then it says that they make a big decision that could change everything, and this just feels like the perfect like contemporary fiction with like a big romance subplot. So I don't know, this is a good option, but I don't know if it like fits the rom-com vibe that maybe we're going for, but I did want to keep it as an option. Then lastly we have Message in a Bottle by Nicholas Sparks, and this is following a woman named Teresa who she finds a bottle with a message in the with a letter in the bottle from a man named Garrett, and it's him essentially like expressing his love for a woman that he lost, it seems like. And I don't know, we're just following those 2 storylines. I think it's gonna be like a very fiction-y book. Again, is this even romance? This is no, he wrote The Notebook. Like he writes romance books, right? I think this is This is me like realizing that I don't know if this is a romance book. Yeah, no, this is definitely a romance book, but it's like, it definitely feels more fiction-y and then it leads into a romance. I believe that's what the synopsis is giving. So again, not a rom-com sort of vibe, but I would like to just like test out his writing and see if his books are for me. So good option. We have a lot of books to choose from. So today is Friday, and so we're gonna go until next Friday just reading all of these romance books, and I actually have a lot of editing to do today and tomorrow, so these first 2 days aren't going to be too big on reading. I will read a little bit, but like it won't be like too heavy of the reading, but all the rest of the days I'll have nothing to do, so we'll be able to like binge out a lot of these books. So the first one though, what are we gonna choose? Okay, so I feel like honestly I'm really in between these two books because honestly I feel like they give like the best maybe rom-com sort of vibes. Actually, I don't know about this one, but I know that this one definitely will, because Just for the Summer was so funny that it made me laugh out loud, and I've just heard really good things about this book, and I know that it'll like pack an emotional punch as well, but I think it's mainly just gonna be like a fun romance. All right, you know what, I'll be back once I actually choose a book because I'm having a hard time, and I think I need to like read the first chapters of all of them in order to decide. Never felt more seen when reading a book before. I mean, seriously, the anxiety representation in this book is so magnificent, and I had heard people talk about it, like I think Destiny, because I know she struggles with anxiety too, so I know that she's talked so highly about the mental health representation in this book, but seriously, it's like there's things that I do that I'm like, is this normal? Like what? Like there are things that are described in here that I'm like, oh my gosh, like I do that too, and I've never heard anyone talk about it. And just like the way that Jacob's mind works, it's like literally a reflection of my own, and it is so refreshing to see that in a book. I mean, seriously, like it's like as if she wrote about my brain and how I think in certain situations, and my anxiety feels so limiting at times. Like seriously, I mean, the amount of plans that I have canceled because I just literally cannot do it, the amount of times where I've made excuses to where I don't have to do certain things or go certain places because I literally cannot do it, and the amount of times that I think about things that genuinely do not need thinking about. It's just, it's so nice to see that in this book through another character and through their mind, and I am absolutely loving that aspect of it. But also the romance in this is so sweet so far. I mean, it's not a romance yet, it's not, it's just the characters getting to know each other, and I am currently 30% in, so I read quite a bit yesterday, but I'm so excited to read more. I literally could have kept reading yesterday, but I got so exhausted last night that I actually couldn't, so I literally cannot wait to read more of this book. I literally read 30% of this book, 114 pages yesterday. We are essentially following our two POVs, Brianna and Jacob, and they're both doctors at this hospital in the ER, and Jacob, he's just starting out, and so he doesn't get off on the best foot with Brianna or the other nurses because of his anxiety, but like no one knows that he struggles with it, so he kind of comes off like a little rude at first because he's not trying to be rude, but like just his limitations are making him come off that way, and he's definitely like closed off because of his anxiety, and so again, he's just coming off like not the best to everyone he's working with. And so him and Brianna, they kind of have like a couple like negative altercations at the beginning. Then Jacob ends up writing her a letter in order to apologize, and then they start writing letters back and forth, which is honestly like, I love that. I love reading about like letters in books no matter what, but like this specifically, I just find it so endearing because they're not texting about how they're feeling, or they're not, I don't know, messaging on social media, they're writing letters to each other, and I love letters, and I think that there's something so much more personable about letters than text messages or emails or anything like that. So I find that so endearing, and I love to see that in books. So while we're getting all of that, they're both like dealing with things in their personal lives as well. So Brianna, her younger brother has dialysis, I think that's what it's called, but he needs a kidney transplant, and she's also dealing with a divorce. And then Jacob is dealing with a relationship that just sort of ended, but she actually ended up now getting married to her brother, and so he's dealing with that, but he also has to pretend that he's like okay about it with his family because he needs his family to know that he's okay. So he makes up the fact that he has a girlfriend, And so now where I'm at, he's gonna propose the idea to Brianna to pretend to be his girlfriend. So it seems like there's gonna be like a bit of like a fake dating trope in here, which I love fake dating. But I think that like where we're starting with the story, it's like it's not like a tropey like rom-com or anything. It just feels very wholesome, especially because so far Brianna has been very like catering towards his anxiety, and I absolutely love that because she never questioned it or sort of looked down upon it at all. She straight up like understood and is now making accommodations for him without him even like asking or anything. But I mean, seriously, the amount of quotes and stuff that I have tabbed and underlined and stuff that deal with anxiety, because it's stuff that I go through as well, it's just so heartwarming and just so like refreshing to read about this. So I am eating this book up. I absolutely love this so far, and I cannot wait to keep reading. So without further ado, let's keep reading. Okay, this is kind of random, but this is the second book in a free book interconnected standalone series, and the first book that I read in the series was Just for the Summer, which is the third book, and I will never read the first book, Part of Your World, like no matter how badly I want to, because I have a feeling that any book in this series will just be so good, since this one and Just for the Summer were. But do you guys ever have a book where you absolutely cannot read it because of one of the main characters' names? Like, I know that sounds so dramatic, but there's one name that of a person who has done me like really wrong. Even just like hearing or seeing the name, like I can't even say the name. Like, it's that serious. The male main character's name in Part of Your World is that name, and it's come up in here a couple times because the female main character from that book is making appearances in here, I guess. And yeah, I will never read that book no matter how badly I want to, because I just cannot get past that name. Like, I could never romanticize that couple or that relationship or that character. I can never like fully feel good about that character because of the association that I have to the name. Like, I literally can't even speak the name out loud, let alone like think it. So yeah. Anyways, that's my trauma dump for the day. Okay, so I just hit chapter 42, so I think I have like 45 pages left or something. Why is this the best book couple I have ever read about in my entire life? Literally, it's usually, I feel like a guy could be such a great boyfriend and the girl could be such a good girlfriend, but it's usually never both at the same time. And this, it's like they're equally really good for each other. I feel like she's catering to his anxiety very well, and he's catering to the fact that she's so like insecure. She's been through a lot because her ex that she was with for 12 years, he was having an affair with one of her close friends for 2 years. So I think that he's catering to her insecurities and her feelings very well, while she's catering to its anxiety very well. So they're just very perfect for each other, and I seriously don't think I've ever read a couple more perfect for each other. Like, oh my gosh. And now obviously we're at the point where they're not fake dating anymore, because now they realize it's not fake. And sometimes I can get annoyed with fake dating because it can feel a little like okay, like, yeah, I get that you're questioning whether it's real or not, but like maybe just have a conversation. But like I get it more with this one because one of his anxiety, and also two, he can't really talk to her about it because he's giving her brother his kidney. Because like I said, also I sounded like an idiot at the beginning of this video. I'm actually embarrassed. Like I haven't even gone back to edit this video yet, but I'm actually so embarrassed for what I said. I said that he has dialysis. He's on dialysis. That's like the medication. He doesn't have dialysis. I sounded like an idiot. Like I sounded so stupid saying that, so I'm sorry for that. No, he needed a kidney transplant, but he has a very rare like blood type and stuff like that. But Jacob was a perfect match. So Jacob anonymously, it was anonymous originally, is giving his kidney to Brianna's brother. So it's like he couldn't tell if Brianna was like really like into it or if she was like faking because, or like if she would be feeling any of those things if he wasn't giving his kidney to her brother. So there were like more misconceptions in this book, I feel like, than in usual fake dating tropes. So I am just loving this book so much, and I'm so sad that it's ending. I feel like it happened very quickly. I feel like I could read so much more of their story, and I am so sad that this is coming to an end. But like I said, I have like 40 something pages left, and I have some peppermint tea here, and we're just gonna finish it tonight, and then tomorrow morning I'll give you guys all of my thoughts, all of my updates, and then we'll be able to pick our next romance book. Okay, so as you guys saw last night on Wednesday, I finished Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez, and I need to save my rating until the end of this video because I need to sit with my rating for a little bit. I need to sit with my thoughts before I decide fully what I'm gonna rate this book, because I'm like so obsessed with it that it could be 5 stars, but it's not necessarily giving me the 5-star feeling where I'm like, oh yeah, like I know for sure this is 5 stars. So I'm gonna sit with my rating, and I will give you guys that at the end of this video. So like you guys already know, I fell absolutely in love with this couple. I think that they are the most perfect book couple that I've ever read about, ever. And I've read a lot of romance books, and there's never been a couple more perfect for each other. And again, just seeing the anxiety representation in this book was so refreshing. There were so many things that made me feel seen. And also, I'm sort of like, as I'm reading this, like right now, I'm sort of going through like a bad like anxiety little rut a little bit. Like I'm having really bad anxiety this past few days, and so being able to read also about the things that I'm going through and like watching someone else go through them made me feel like not just seen but also like less alone, if that makes sense. And I know that this is a fictional book, like I get it, but she wrote about such genuine real topics in here that it makes it feel more real, and I'm able to connect with it so well. So I absolutely loved this book. Like I don't even know what else to say. And you guys, the ending, oh the end, the thing that he did for her at the end, I'm not gonna say it, it would be a spoiler a little bit. The thing he did for her at the end, because she was like low-key like freaking out a little bit, and like totally understood because she's 35 and she was in a 12-year relationship that ended up in a failure. So totally get her like freaking out and everything. But what he did for her to like make her feel better, oh my gosh, like it literally had me like tearing up. Like I absolutely loved that. So I just so obsessed with this book, and I wish that I honestly read this during a time when I wasn't filming a reading vlog like this, because I think I would have spent more time with it rather than just 3 days. And I know 3 days is kind of a lot, but I mean I read the first 113 pages in the first day, and then yesterday I read an entire 50% of the book. So I feel like if I spent more time with this, I think I could have connected maybe a little deeper to it, and I feel like it could have been like the easiest 5 stars that I've ever given. So I think this is a book that eventually I will reread just for that sole reason. So we're moving on from this one. It is now Thursday. We need to pick our next romance book that we're supposed to read between today and tomorrow. And if you guys know my schedule, you know that all day today I will be spending my day at my dad's school. So we don't have much time to read today, so it'll literally just be mainly tomorrow, which means that we need a short book. So as you guys know, I have a lot of romance books on my physical TBR. I showed you all of them at the beginning of this video. We don't need to go through them again. And so because I only have tonight and tomorrow to read, I'm actually going to go onto Kindle Unlimited, and every Valentine's Day a group of romance authors, they like release these Valentine's Day novellas, and I read one last year and it was just really, oh, my camera battery is blinking, dang it. Why does this always happen to me? It was just really fun. I feel like it just gets you in the Valentine's Day spirit a little bit, and they're really short. Like I think they're like 100-ish pages, and so I feel like it could just be really fun. So Christina Lauren actually has one, and I really enjoyed some of their books in the past, and so I'm gonna pick up that one because it'll just be the perfect length. And I don't know, I feel like it'll get me into the Valentine's Day. My camera battery just died, but the book is called Accidentally Yours by Christina Lauren, and it's 92 pages I think, so it'll just be like the perfect short little read for the time that I have left in this week. And honestly, I'm really excited about it because also Valentine's Day is on Saturday, and so I'm really trying to get into like that mood, like because I'm just not, if I'm being honest, I don't know, like I'm just not feeling it. And I think it's just because, like I said, my anxiety is a little high this week, and so it's hard for me to focus on anything like happy like that. But we're getting in the spirit. This book I know is gonna get us into the spirit. So without further ado, let's start reading Accidentally Yours by Christina Lauren. I need to give you guys my update on Accidentally Yours. So I feel like honestly I have seen this trope done so many times, or I don't even know if it's a trope, honestly. I think it's just like this plot line that happens quite often in these little novellas, and I think that I read this exact sort of storyline almost in another Christina Lauren short novella book that I had read one year. It's essentially where they're like emailing back and forth and they don't know who each other are, but like they know each other in person as well, but they don't know that it's them they're emailing, and so they have like sort of like a romance brewing through email, but they don't know it's them in person, if that makes sense. So I feel like it's a very common storyline that happens, but I am enjoying it. I think that it's super fun for like a Valentine's Day book, and we're essentially following Veronica, who has been looking for a job because her last job like sucked. And so she's been looking for a new job, and she basically accidentally joins this Zoom meeting with our male main character Judd, and she's like off camera. He doesn't, wait, was he in the meeting? I can't remember if he was actually in the meeting, but basically she was intending on joining a job interview, but she accidentally joined like a marketing meeting, and she basically just like totally like crapped on their whole marketing strategy, and she was like, this sucks, whatever. And it was a little weird, honestly. But basically then Judd reached out to her and wanted to hire her as their marketing strategist. They went like back and forth a little bit through email, but eventually she like accepted the job position. And at the same time, we're watching both Veronica and Judd not know each other's names, but they're neighbors in the same apartment complex, and they see each other when they go down to get their mail every day. And Veronica has had a crush on this anonymous guy whenever she sees him at the mailbox. So it's like set up to be just like a cute short little romance, and I think it's fun. I think it's sweet, and I think that it's really good for Valentine's Day. And I'm really curious as to what the other novellas in this little series are. And I think that honestly, like if I were to be going on like a plane or like a little car ride or something, and I wanted like a short book just to read, I think that these are perfect. Because I mean, literally, like this is my first update with you guys, and this is my only update with you guys about this book until I finish it, because I mean seriously, it's an hour and a half of reading. Like it's 90 pages long, an hour and a half of reading. It's like mostly in like emails and text messages format, so it's so quick to fly through. So once I get back to Micah's house, I'm gonna finish it real quick, and then we can talk about our updates. Okay, Okay, so it is later and I have now finished Accidentally Yours by Christina Lauren, and I want to do my little ratings and reviews from this video. This book, honestly, I think I'm settling on a 4.25, but I could so see myself giving this a 5 stars if I were to reread it in the future. I just think that, again, like, I know I've talked about this, but the couple in this, they were so perfect for each other, and the representation, I will never get over the anxiety representation in this book. I just think that it was so refreshing to see a character who struggles with the same things that I do in a book, and it just made it feel so real and like something that's not just my issue. It's like I'm not alone, you know what I mean? So I absolutely loved this so much. So 4.25 stars, but honestly it was really hard to come to that rating because it could definitely raise eventually. And then we have Accidentally Yours by Christina Lauren. I literally just talked to you guys about this, so I'm not gonna go too into detail, but I think that this is like the perfect short story. I think honestly for what it is, I think that this is such a great little book because it covers like all the necessary romance topics. It's just the only issue with novellas like this is you don't have time to connect to the characters or really root for them to get together because you don't know their motivations, you don't know their struggles really. But I feel like honestly we got like a pretty big portion of our male main character's struggles. Like we went into detail like a couple times about what he's dealing with, and so I really liked that aspect because I feel like in these short stories we don't always do that. But I thought this was like really cute, so I ended up rating this 3 stars. I will always recommend this, I think, for just like a quick romance, especially like if you're in a romance mood but you don't necessarily want to commit to like a full romance book, or maybe you don't have time to. I would definitely recommend this. And I believe like the last chapter did take place on Valentine's Day, so it is like a perfect like Valentine's Day read. Let me know if you read this novella or any of the other ones in the little like 6-book series, because I'm wondering how the rest of them are. Since Valentine's Day is tomorrow, I don't think I'll get to any more of them, but I am like curious, like maybe in like future years I'll dedicate more time to read an entire one. And honestly I'm excited to see who does them next year, because I think Abby Jimenez did one year, and I know that Christina Lauren, they've done at least a couple now because I've read 2 now. So I honestly thought this was so much fun and I really highly recommend. So with that being said, we have read romance books for an entire week. Today is Friday night. Tomorrow's actually Valentine's Day, so I hope that you guys had such a nice Valentine's Day, whether you were with a significant other or friends, or if you were reading a romance book or watching a rom-com, whatever you were doing. I hope that you had such a great Valentine's Day, and I appreciate all of you guys for watching and being here, and I'll see you guys so soon. Bye guys.